Welcome everyone, Farmer Comp here. This is going to be the test video that was huge on FS19 for me, so we'll see if anyone likes it this time, but we're going to go ahead and test and see if wider tires matter. Now, my guess is already that they do, but let's see kind of how much they matter as well. Even though we know that yes, they are going to likely matter, I'm almost 100% sure they are going to matter, let's go ahead and test out, how much they matter. So we're going to test them out here. Now, some of you guys are going to disagree with my test methods and all that, and that's fine. I did take into account all of the suggestions you guys left on my last video, and I was able to implement quite a few of those, at least that I thought mattered on here, and I'll explain a few things as we go. So the test itself is going to be this tractor pulling something way too big for it that's lowered. We're going to lower it up this hill, all the way up until the front tires hit this line. The front tires are down there at that line. They're going to hit this line. I'm going to time that in seconds. I'm going to do it all the way down to, it's pretty much all the way down to like a hundredth of seconds as well. They might ask how in the world are you going to do that? Well, I'll explain all that here for us here in a second. Yeah, so we're going to do that. Now, one of the complaints I got was there was no front weight when I did the test last time. So the front tires weren't helping as much, especially when we had twin wheels all around. So I have a front weight on here, 750 kilogram 10-link weight. I think that's plenty for this. And this thing is intentionally supposed to be way overweight for this because I don't want it to ever reach working speed on the way up. I want it to just have to use as much force as possible. Now, if it does reach working speed, it will do that probably at some point, or potentially could do that, but we don't want it to. We want to see how the tires are doing to help it get up there, even though it's overloaded. Some of you guys might disagree with that. That is what it is. This test seems to work fairly well. Now, you might also ask, how are we going to test multiple tire configurations and make sure everything's in the same spot? Well, this is saved right here. So every time we do a test, I will exit the game without saving, load back in, and then I'll come over here, and I can go to our fent, and I can customize it and change the tire configuration however I choose. So it's pretty easy to do that. Now, the reason I chose this fent, among others, there are tractors out there with more tire configuration, like for example, the MF here has standard wheel weights, wide tires, wide with weights, wides 2, wides with weights, rear twins, twins all around, and narrows. That's a lot of tests to do, and then I would have to do it probably for every brand if I really wanted to get every single possible test out of the way. I'm not going to test every brand. That would take me a lot of time to do it. This is just a quick test to give a quick overview. So we're going to test trailer board tires on the Fendt 700 Vario. I didn't do anything to the engine, nothing to the front loader. The wheel standard, or the wheel setups we have in here is standard with wheel weights, wides with weights, rear twins, and twins all around, and then finally narrows. So we're going to test all those in that order going through here. So that's going to be the test here for us. So this is standard tires, no weights or anything like that. So we're going to see how this does. I'm going to do this one with you guys in here. Now, yes, I am going to run a stopwatch up the hill. Now, I had this argument that someone said, well, how do you know you're accurate with your stopwatch? Because obviously there's human error. Well, I'm going to use the same justification that the United States courts use for stopwatches when it comes to speed enforcement, since I am a radar LiDAR instructor. So as far as speed enforcement, if I was to measure vehicle speeds from, well, if I was to go on the menu here, from this point to this point, and I know, let's say I know this is a fixed distance, police officers in the United States are allowed legally in court to enforce speed that they hit a stopwatch as soon as a vehicle patches not a line on the road, a fixed point, but we're going to use lines in this point. It'll be fine because I'll be able to see above it. That's a whole different argument there. But so as soon as he starts here, I can hit my stopwatch, which will have a delay from when I start, but that same delay will be up here at the top when I finish. So the human error essentially cancels itself out as far as that goes. So that's why it's able to be used in speed enforcement. And that's why I'm going to use it in my test, because it really doesn't matter that much. So that's how it's going to go. I don't have any scientific counters or anything like that. Yes, I know scientifically speaking, it's not the most accurate because yes, there still technically is human error, but it's the best way to go about it, folks. So I think that's good. Now, as far as maintenance and everything goes and all this, it should still be in the same condition every time we load back in because we have the game saved. So hopefully that helps you guys understand the test a little better. Let's go ahead and run test one. So this is the angle I'm just going to be in. Let's go ahead and lower that. I'm going to keep the weight raised. And then as soon as I hit 3 for cruise control, I'm going to hit start on my watch. And actually, you know what we should do? We should add in GPS to get it to actually go in a straight line. So that is one thing I am actually going to add into the test, and I'll bring you guys back in just a second. All right, welcome back in. GPS is added in, which by the way is a PC only mod. You should see it here working. It's set to a 90-degree track right in front of us. Everything's lowered down. So let's go ahead and get this first test done. 3, 2, 1, and it should be locked on a route. It's not showing my lines right now, but it is locked. You can see it's activated down there in the bottom right-hand corner. and he's struggling to pull it. He's working. This is standard, so narrows might be a touch slower, which is fine. But I'm gonna get ready to watch those front weights approach the line here so I can hit stop on my stopwatch. Got ways to go though, don't we? Oh, I might cut out part of the test here and bring you guys back in. All right, we're approaching the finish line. I cut out part of that test because it was me a long time because we're still pretty far into this. And boom. Right as we hit those bottom gray lines, I can go ahead and stop him right there. 125 and 44. So I'm gonna write that down on my notebook here. So it was standard tires. So standard's no weight. So standard tires, 125.44 on the clock here. All right. So that's how I do the test. I will actually bring you guys back in for each one just because, you know, you guys might want to see how they all go. So I'll see you guys here and I'll make just kind of some little cuts of the test as we go. All right, time to do the second test. Now, just so you guys are curious, and actually I didn't save it before I added the GPS, so I have to add the GPS again. But when I customize it, yes, it does detach things, but everything stays in the same position. So we can go standard with wheel weights now, customize. Boom. All right, now, yes, it does disconnect everything from itself, but the tractor itself is still in the same spot. So we hop in. We connect everything, we lower down that back piece of equipment, and then the test is ready to run again. So let's go ahead and start us out and see if we have any major changes here when we start out with this one. So 3, 2, 1. Oh wait, nope, we need to activate the GPS before I forget. Oh, that would have been terrible. Would have had to reload that one there. Let's go in here, GPS. I'm just gonna go set A, we'll do 90 degrees. Set that, and then activated. All right, 3, 2, 1. See if it's a stronger start, or is it going to slow back down to kind of where it was before? It's picking up a little bit more speed. It's dropping down a little bit. I think I got a little bit more juice off the front end, but we'll see kind of how it goes. So I'll see you guys here in just a minute when we're getting ready to wrap up. All right, we're approaching the line. Is it going to be better, worse, the same? I guess it's going to be a little bit worse because we just added weight pretty much. And move. Oh, slightly better actually. And not even slightly. Better by 3 seconds. So we got 122.08 on that one, which is impressive. And I think actually we'll run the narrows test next real quick, just because we should have just gone in order and started with that. But I'll bring you guys back in here. All right, and here we go for narrow tires locked on a GPS line. 3, 2, 1. I anticipate these will do terribly, but we will see. Once it gets settled out there, it gets a little boost once it gets that up out of the air, and then, oh, we're dropping almost to 3. There's 3 there. Yeah, so probably not great for the narrows, but that's what we probably anticipated. So I see you guys here at the end. All right, we're getting close to the line now, and we are doing way over. We're way over the other two. And boom, hits it. All right. So that one's at 144.11. Woo, yeah, well, I mean, we probably figured that would be the case. And you might say, well, why would you use narrows? Well, narrows don't destroy crops if you have crop destruction on. So that's the benefit of narrows. But anyhow, let's move on to our next test. All right, here we go with wide tires. 3, 2, oh, I didn't even set the GPS. Gosh, I keep forgetting to do that. Let me go ahead and set that real quick for us. Boom, boom, set A, 90 degrees, which will just send us straight up that hill. Perfect. All right, 3, 2, 1, and we are off. I'm hoping this is going to do better. This is the theory. The wider the better. So these are the wide tires here. Okay, she's dropping at 4, but she's doing a high 4, it looks like. She's doing pretty good on that 4 there. So we'll keep going, and I'll see you guys towards the end here of this test. And we're getting close. And, ooh, not doing too great. Oh, we were... Gosh darn it, we did not do good on that one. 125. 39, so about the same as standard on that one, but not as good as the standard with weights. So I'm assuming we'll put wide and weights on there. It's going to be a little bit better. So we'll go ahead and do that one next. All right, here we go for the wides with weights. Let's get our GPS set here before I forget again. I'm always trying to start without that. I'm just not used to getting her activated every time. Set A here. There we go. Perfect. All right, 3, 2, 1. We are off. So this one I'm assuming is going to do even better than the standard with weights. We'll see. The wides without weights did about the same as the standard without weights, so it might be similar to that. And also too, I've decided I want to do another test as well, because I know some of you guys probably gonna have some issues with this one. I'm going to hook this tractor up. We're going to leave that weight on. For the next test I'm going to do, we're just going to have a fully loaded trailer of maybe just rocks behind it and see how it does towing that up the hill, because then there's never going to be any resistance. So we'll see. We'll do that test as well, just a big old heavy load, because this one obviously there's a little bit of resistance into the ground, and that's the point. We want the resistance there, but we'll do that test as well for you guys on this. So we're gonna do that one here. All right, we see the line in the distance, and we're not doing half bad. Let's get so I can actually see it a little bit better. Ooh, interesting. So we are slightly better than the standard with weights. We're at 121.88. And by slightly better, I mean literally, what is that, 0.2 seconds. 0.2 seconds better. So really not that much better. But anyhow, let's go ahead and move on to the next one here. All right, folks, here's where it's going to start getting interesting when we've thrown on some extra tires on here. So this is where it starts to really matter. I have GPS on, everything's locked in. 3, 2, 1, we are off. Yeah, you can see it's going to get definitely a good boost right out the gate there. And I bet you it's going to top out a lot higher. Ooh, maybe not. Only 4 on that. Interesting. We'll see how it does pulling up that hill. Hopefully when we get the actual front duals on there, it might matter a little bit more. Now this could be where it's changed a little bit since FS19, where the way it actually works might be more realistic or a little bit different in terms of all this stuff goes, where just because we're pulling that implement up this hill, the resistance might be a little too much to overcome. But anyhow, we'll bring you guys back in at the end of this test. All right, we're coming up on it, and we're not looking good on time. Oh gosh, we're not looking good on time. And right there, 124.77. That is not great with the rear twins, 124.77. So, I mean, obviously you can see that it does matter because we're getting different results, especially compared to like narrows and compared to, well, so far wides with the weights are slightly better than anything else you can get. But you can see that, yeah, the extra weight seems to matter a lot more. So I'm hoping when we do the last test here, which is the front twins, or all twins all around, that we're going to see a little bit different result. Okay, here we are. Let's get ready to do the last test. GPS is set. This one hopefully will be better. All right, 3, 2, and off we go. I think that with that front weight and those front twins on there, I think we're going to see a lot better traction as we get heading up the hill. Maybe not though. We're dropping down to 4. It is a higher 4 than it's looking. Well, I don't know if I'd say it's a higher 4. But anyhow, we'll see you guys in a second here. All right, we're getting close to the top here, and our time's actually not looking half bad. I mean, we still have a little bit to go, so a few seconds here and there. Okay, well, it wasn't as crazy improved as it was, or crazy different than it was in FS19, but we just got ourselves 1:20.59. So 1 minute 20 seconds, 1 minute 20.59. So there we go. What I'm going to do, I usually would just wrap up here and show you guys a chart, but I think there's some more testing to be done here. So we're going to jump into some more tests, and then I think we're also going to do a separate video where we look at some snow and do some of these similar tests after I get some feedback from you guys on these tests. But let's do one with this tractor and the weight, because I think really honestly what we have here is, though the tires are mattering, yes, but this tractor's just kind of just absolutely topped out as far as its power goes with this implement specifically behind it. So we're going to try a different setup here. All right, here's our new setup here. What we have, well, if I just go into build mode real quick so you can see a little better. Same setup, essentially, different tractor. We are now going to run rocks in the back of this thing, just a full trailer rock, 18,500 liters of rocks in that root off. Now this John Deere tractor, if we hop out of here and go into the store, it has a few configurations a little bit different than what we got going on. It's a 7R is what we're using. So if we go in here, I have it configured like this. Didn't touch anything. We obviously have GPS on it. I did the US configuration standard. Well, it has these rear narrow twins, so we're gonna try those first, but I bet those will actually do pretty good since they're narrow twins. But we have standard, wheel weights, wides with weights, rear twins, and then twins all around. So we're gonna see how well it does pulling this up the hill and see how long it takes. So GPS is gonna be activated. Now I did upgrade the weight as well. We do have a weight on the front still. It's a 900 kilogram weight this time, so hopefully it's a little bit better. I figured just because it's a bigger tractor. So we're gonna see how this rolls and how this, yeah, we're just gonna see how it goes. So let's go ahead and get our GPS set up here. I'll keep you guys in for part of the first test here. All right, let's go ahead and set this over to that. Set A, 90 degrees up the hill. And again, this is saved, so it's all gonna be the same once we get going, or once we reload new tests, everything like that. So all right, let's go ahead and get this thing going. 3, 2, and we are off. So far, so good. Oh yeah, it's definitely struggling to pull it up the hill. So I like that, that's good. We want to see that because we don't want it to get up to full speed necessarily until maybe we get the later tests, we get up to full speed. So we'll see. It should be a nice smooth hill as well, and it doesn't really matter at the end of the day because it's all the same for each individual tractor. But I guess, you know, we're almost there, so I might as well leave you guys in for this test, and then I will probably run the other tests off camera unless something exciting happens and we just are cooking along in one of the tests. Then I might hit the record button real quick, but I'll probably just cut those out just for the interest of time for you guys. You guys can see the results. So let's see how we're doing here. Boom, 40.26 seconds. So no minutes, 40.26 seconds. So I'm hoping we see some really good results. But anyhow, I'm gonna start running these tests. I'll bring you guys back in later on. Ladies and gentlemen, I just finished our final test, and I'm gonna put some charts up there. So first off, I'm gonna put the first test we put up there in a chart. Right now, you should be able to see it, and you should see also, if I can get it, find it and get it put up there, you should see a test from FS19, the results I got. So you can see the results are definitely different than FS19, but you can still see there is some difference when you change the tires around. You're gonna get different traction and different things like that. Now, I may do some future test videos on flat ground and stuff like that. I definitely want to do one in snow because I think snow will have a big impact on things. But now if we look at our John Deere test here with the trailer, which I have no old tests to compare it to, but look at those numbers. Narrows at 40 seconds, then 41, then 39, then 40, then 39, then 40, then 40. Pretty much the same across the board. As long as you have anything besides standard tires, you're going to do better than you did with standard tires. But otherwise, it's pretty much all the same. So yes, wide tires I think do help, but not anywhere near as pronounced as they did in FS19, at least with this specific test. If there's other tests you guys would like to see, please drop them down in the comments. I'm not going to tolerate comments that are just telling me I suck and my test is horrible, but if you have constructive feedback that will help me do better tests in the future, I'm all about that. So let me know down in the chat what you guys want to see in future tests. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please drop a like down below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button up on the screen to join the Farmer Cop channel and turn on your notification bells so you don't miss any future videos I may post. This has been Farmer Cop. Thank you guys for coming and for watching.